But the Niners last night, they looked good on all three phases. Last night, the teams were special. The teams were special. Offense was good. Averaging 5.7 yards a carry. Jimmy Garoppolo really good in the pass game. Every playmaker touched the ball. Just a complete win, and I think it's a sign of things to come for the 49ers here as we move into December.
Yeah, I was talking with Spadoni about it. I just watching the game last night. There's a couple of quick points on just this one player. Number one, Steph Curry, most fun player any of us has ever seen. That goes without saying, right? And I don't want to compare anyone to Steph because he's the unicorn. McCaffrey's about as fun as it gets. Right? Just watching a player play football, every time he lines up, you got your eyes on him. Is he going to split out? He touches the ball. He's electric. There's something about Christian McCaffrey that has just breathed life into this entire team, and it's opened up the field for everyone. And then I look at what it's done for the confidence level of Jimmy Garoppolo. He looks so good right now and so confident. He's making off-script plays down the field, throwing it over the top of everyone to George Kittle. Are you kidding me? And then splitting out McCaffrey. It looked like to me he audibled on the play. Splits McCaffrey out wide. He's got Debo in the backfield and just throws a perfect little just 6-yard, 7-yard boom. Linebacker's going to lay off him. Here you go. Yep. First down. They didn't have that in the bag. Offense felt so constipated for so long. And then you add Christian McCaffrey, and they look unstoppable.
No, they are. I mean, the trade has opened up everything. There's no doubt about it. The last 3 games, they've averaged a shade over 30 points a game. And that's what I'm expecting from this offense moving forward. And it all flipped when they were down 14-10 at SoFi Stadium against the LA Rams. Shanahan figured out, this guy's a bad boy, number 23 in Christian McCaffrey. Jimmy Garoppolo figured out, I can throw the ball to the backfield, kind of like Tom Brady to Deion Lewis, or James White, or Kevin Falk, and all those scat backs in New England. And all of a sudden, Jimmy Garoppolo, I'll say this right now, moving forward from here on out, outside of Tom Brady, there's not another quarterback in the NFC I'd rather have than Jimmy Garoppolo. I think that's how well he's playing. He's confident. He's stepping up in the pocket. He's improvising. He's throwing lasers. He's throwing darts. He's accurate, and he's not turning the ball over the last 4 games. Jimmy Garoppolo, 8 touchdown passes, 1 pick.
Not a lot of interceptable plays, not a lot of erratic plays. The key for me with Jimmy Garoppolo he's stepping into his passes. And that tells me 2 things. Number 1, he's confident. And number 2, offensive line's done a great job. I think quietly, Burford's had moments where he's struggled.
How about Jake Brendel going downfield and blocking on that Debo play, pancaking Buda Baker at the 5-yard line?
Bonta, we're going to talk about it in a couple years from now. They went an entire year with Jake Brendel at center.
Jake Brendel.
And I'm not trying to rip the guy, but come on. I mean, how many teams are putting him at center and not having a cave-in type of an offensive line season? So they've done a phenomenal job just reworking this offensive line on the fly. And then now you look and you got 2 young guards. Feel pretty promising about Banks and Burford.
No, Banks, Burford doing really well. Brendel's playing well.
Didn't hear McGlinchey's name last night.
I mean, didn't hear his name at all. Didn't hear anything about Trent Williams tipping plays or whatnot.
Can we talk? Let's stop for a second. Trent Williams, he is the guy who wears the extra medium when he's clearly an extra large.
No doubt.
The guy has socks on that barely cover his gigantic calves. You got knees showing, you got ankles showing. His uniform doesn't fit him at all, and it looks glorious.
No doubt. No, it does. And he's got the visor, and he's balling dudes. He was balling Buda Baker. Buda Baker had a rough night last night. It was too physical out there. Though. I do love Buda. But, man, he was getting hit around there like a rag doll. The physicality of that football game, you could start to see it in the first half when Arizona could not run the ball. And I was like, Colt's going to die. And Colt almost died last night in Mexico City. They had to pull his ass out the game and play Trace McSorley out of Penn State. And that was a smart move. They are a mess, and their season's done. So the Niners have ended the L.A. Rams. They've ended the Arizona Cardinals in 2022.
Panthers.
And I'm looking for the end of the Panthers. They got Matt Rule was on NFL. He was on NFL Network this morning talking about studying the film and hanging out with his daughter or whatnot. Hey, he's got a lot of money to pick, man. He's got a lot to smile about.
If you gave me that money, I would not be on the NFL Network.
Well, next month maybe.
I'd give it a little time.
Hey, man, he's trying to get out there, show the people that I'm Matt Rule. I'm still looking for a job.
Well, he'll get one.
Jimmy Garoppolo though, 8 touchdowns, 1 interception. 1,006 yards in the last 4 games. Niners are rolling right now, 3-1 in the last 4, of course. They lost to Kansas City, but a 3-game win streak as they move into New Orleans next week at Levi Stadium. We're going to talk all about it. 888-957-9570. Jimmy, again, I'll make the statement once again. There's not another quarterback outside of Tom Brady, I'd rather roll with the rest of the way in the NFC. That's over Dak Prescott. That's over Jalen Hurts. That's over Kirk Cousins. And that's over Geno Smith. I mean, this guy is playing at such a high level right now.
It's the best he's played in a long time.
Maybe the best he's played as a 49er, but also...
like 2-3 years.
We argued about this so long in 2020, right? When they lost that season opener to Arizona. And he walked on the field, and Dante Pettis, Trent Taylor, and Kendrick Bourne was his wide receivers.
Yeah, this is not good enough.
I always wondered what it would look like if Jimmy had comparable weapons. Well, Deebo Samuel, we know, is a stud.
Yeah.
George Kittle, nobody wanted to tackle him yesterday.
No.
George Kittle looked phenomenal. And he's got Brandon Ayuk. Even though he only caught 2 passes,
his route running,
the route running is just absurd. He's the best route runner on the team. I felt that all year. So he's coming along, and he's balling right now. And then you got Chris McCaffrey coming out the backfield making plays, and linebackers are like, oh, snap, well, I got Deebo here. I got 23 there, 85 over here, and then number 11 is coming, and they're not even stretching the field yet. That's coming. Trust me, that's coming for this offense. Now he's got a full complement of weapons. Shanahan's dialed up anything, saying, not to mention Elijah Mitchell after the second half or at the halftime comes in with fresh legs. He's a battering ram. I've never felt better about this offense under Kyle Shanahan. I've never felt better about this offense under Jimmy Garoppolo. So I'm riding high right now as they win 3 straight. And finally, we got our hoodies. Wow. What do you know?
Wow.
Look at that.
Wow. It says Morning Roast, oh baby, with Bonte's picture and face. And then to the other side, it says, come on, doggy.
Look at that.
That looks pretty cool.
Nice little hoodie.
Too bad it's super blurry on my YouTube here.
Yeah.
You know what, B? I'm so excited for the Niners right now because it's setting up to be an incredible December and January. And they've handled their business in division. When I saw the graphic flash across, first time they've been 4-0 in the NFC West since 2002, the first year of the NFC West. I couldn't believe that.
That's insane.
I was like, you're telling me Harbaugh never did that? You're telling me in 2019 that didn't happen? Like, I didn't know. First time 4-0 in the NFC West since 2002. That blew me away.
Not only that. How about this? Your 3rd straight second half shutout.
That is incredible.
The Rams didn't score in the second half.
Incredible.
Chargers didn't score in the second half.
That's incredible.
And the Cardinals tried to score a little sympathy touchdown at the end there, and Trace McSorley threw a pick to Womack, who could have had 2 picks on that same drive. He dropped one that would have been a pick 6. He finally comes up with one.
Womack.
I like Womack a lot. He played tough yesterday. 0 points the last 3 second halves the Niners have given up. They're plus 54 there. I mean, there's just so much stuff happening with this team.
You know, B, one of the things that, like, when we assess what a coach brings to the table, you know, people bring up, like, Belichick. Oh, he does personnel and he does the whole defense. Right. He's the architect of the defense. When we bring up Andy Reid, like, obviously play calling is, like, his number one thing, right? And maximizing the talent of that he's got. I think one of the most underrated things that Kyle Shanahan has done as a 49er coach, because everyone's like, he's the best play designer. Oh, play calling. I think building staffs is one of the more underrated things that he does. Brian Griese, I was all over at the beginning of the year watching him work with Trey Lance. He's done a great job with Jimmy Garoppolo.
No doubt.
So they switched out that quarterback coach. Jimmy's playing the best ball he's ever played. Now, personnel has a lot to do with that, but I do think the inner workings. I'm sitting there watching Griese put his arm around Jimmy on the bench yesterday. I'm like, that's coaching. Right? That's coaching, like working with that guy. Secondarily, he took a guy who had never been a defensive coordinator in Robert Saleh, groomed him in to one of the most coveted head coach candidates in the league, then replaced that guy with another guy who had never been the head defensive coordinator, and now he's set up to be a head coach somewhere. Look what he did with Mike McDaniels. Obviously, he gets some credit for that. I think
LaFleur in Green Bay.
What he has done to build staffs over the years and reinvent his staff on the fly, dramatically underrated. Dramatically underrated.
Chris Kosaric, D-line coach. They don't have Armstead and Kinlaw. You don't even know.
It's a great call.
You don't even know.
That's a great call.
You don't even miss the guys. You don't even notice they're out.
What about their offensive line coach right now?
Offensive line Chris Forster.
I mean, look, I know the guy's crazy, but he's done it. B, they are doing this with Burford and Banks, 2 unproven young players who no one thought were going to be anything, and Jake Brendel in the middle.
Jake Brendel in the middle.
I don't want to slander his name. I'm just saying, like,
no, Jake Brendel's playing out of his mind right now.
How many teams would take those 3 players and not have anywhere near the success the Niners are having?
It's coaching and development. Then you got Bobby Richardson back as your running back coach alongside Anthony Lynn, who's walking off the field with John Lynch. And I'm looking at YouTube right now, and Aikman and Buck were gushing over the 49ers because Aikman and Buck covering those games for Fox Sports. They've seen a lot of 49er football in the last 4 years. and they know, and Aikman's been in championship locker rooms, to hear him say, I've been in the championship locker room, when everybody's bought in, and you're on the same page, and you go out there on Monday Night Football, and you kick a division rival's ass, because everybody's freaking out early on, it was 3-0. And I'm like, division games are going to be dogfights.
There was a feeling out period.
There's no doubt. But the Niners put their foot on their throats in the second half. Then came out in the first drive in the third quarter. 7 runs on 8 plays. It went right down the football field. Ran it right down their throats. That was capped off by Deebo Samuel's nice little pitch play.
Yeah.
The little reverse there. Got him on the edge, and he scores a long touchdown. Aikman was salivating over the Niners saying, this is a team I would not want to play moving forward.
It was funny to hear Troy Aikman completely pivot, because everybody gets mad when Jimmy has rough patches, we have to assess it and call it out. And then when he plays well, we try to praise him. And, you're trying to give realistic assessments in real time. And I think it's very difficult at times. Aikman has crushed Jimmy Garoppolo forever. And yesterday he was gushing over him. And I think part why he was gushing over him is Aikman knows if you have weapons on the outside and you're just feeding those weapons and letting them be playmakers, you will win a ton of games.
No doubt.
And that's all we've ever wanted from Jimmy Garoppolo. Consistently feed the playmaker. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to take sacks. You're going to throw balls into the ground every now and then. Don't have the huge turnover plays. And just get the ball in playmakers' hands to make plays. Bonta, the play he made to George Kittle, he didn't make that play last year.
No, he didn't.
He did not make that play last year. And you can't tell me it's not him being confident, him feeling himself, also having that check down valve where teams have to honor Christian McCaffrey underneath. Everything's clicking right now, and it feels like the perfect storm. And here's the other thing. I don't want to talk about re-signing Jimmy. I don't want to talk about the offseason. I don't want to talk about – that's the beauty, I feel, of Jimmy has lived in the moment. And I hope that this team can continue to live in the moment. I know the cameras were panning to Trey Lance. And, look, all of that will take care of itself. Let's live in the moment, sit in the bathwater. Let's enjoy this hot tub season we've got going right now.
You kind of read my mind here because I wanted to read this from the Xfinity Mobile text line. Kyle from Terra Linda. Jimmy finishes the season looking like this. What do you do next season? Well, I don't think the Niners could do anything, number one, because he's going to get paid. If he plays like that, he's going to get a big bag, and the Niners will probably, and he should. He's been, I said this over and over and over again, and I've done some of the disrespected. He's been the most disrespected 49er in my adult lifetime. I don't remember much as a kid, maybe Steve Young early on, but Jimmy Garoppolo from the year 2000 on to the present day has been the most disrespected 49er. All he's done is played hard for this organization. All he's done is put his body on the line for this organization, and he's been part of some memorable moments, some of my most favorite moments of all time as a 49er fan. The Dallas game last year, he was part of it. Say what you want to say. The 2019 season, going down to New Orleans, all those big games he had. Jimmy is going to get a bag, but we're not there yet. Well, I don't want to do big picture radio.
But it's continue. No,
big picture radio is not what I like. I'm not pivoting to February. What do you do with Jimmy? What do you do with Jimmy? How do you win a Super Bowl this year?
That's what I'm saying, Bonta.
How do you win a Super Bowl?
And I'm guilty of this. I feel like we did this last year because there were so many ups and downs. We were so losing our mind about what's going to happen in the offseason 3 months from now. Guys, we're having a fun-ass season for the 49ers. Can we just enjoy it?
No doubt.
Can we just freaking enjoy it?
And I think we are. I think people are.
No, I'm just saying in general, the narrative surrounding. I know you got to bring this guy back. You got to worry about this. Right now, I'm looking at this nucleus. This is the best weaponry they've had since Rice and Owens and Hurst. And it's not close.
It's not even close.
I mean, they have got an ascending wide receiver in Brandon Ayuk having a monster season, okay? In terms of just as a pass catcher. Debo felt like Debo last night, which we were all kind of I know, you win games, it doesn't matter. But you want to see your guy Debo get the ball, and you want him feeling good about himself. It felt like when he got that little end around pitch play, whatever that play was called, I don't even know. It was a beautiful play. And he started stretching his legs. I'm thinking, I can't remember him running full stride all year. He's had 5 guys around him all year.
Monday Night Football, maybe against the Rams when he had that wide receiver screen.
Good call.
The Seattle game.
He hit another level of speed on that play.
No doubt. Then you talk about Brandon Ayuk, 29 catches over his last 5 games, 350 yards, 61 a game, sick. 12 yards a catch, 5 touchdowns.
He has 5?
He has 5 touchdowns in the last 5 games. Last 5
Who
games.
was the last 49er wide receiver to have double-digit touchdown catches?
Michael Crabtree, maybe? Did he have it?
Yeah,
with,
I think he had 12 touchdowns,
he have it with
80-something catches with 1,200 yards. That might be it. You might be right. It might be the 12 touchdowns.
Right.
That was the year with Randy Moss and Vernon Davis, 2012.
No doubt.
And you know what? I'm going to look that up. I think you're right.
With maybe Kaepernick, right? With Cap?
No, it was half with Cap.
Half
with
Cap.
Alex.
Yeah. No doubt. Hey, you can't turn me down right now, 650. How can you be turned down right now?
Why?
After a performance like that on Monday Night Football in a Super Bowl environment in Mexico City, a division rival,
Thank you.
and you smoked them.
Thank you.
You smoked Kingsbury. You made them tap out. How can you not be excited about